Sometimes you just need a good laugh, don't we? And chances are high that you might find one in the pages of Debbie Travis's new book. It is a memoir of sorts, broken down into sections by seasons, and there are, of course, a few recipes thrown in. But it's Travis's sharing of the stories of her life and her incredible Italian villa, a 13th century farmhouse that she restored, sitting on 100 acres in Tuscany. Yeah, that's her life. Debbie Travis is sitting on our sofa this morning. She's got a few stories up her sleeve. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
I feel like often you are living the dream of so many people. We'll get into that in a moment. But first, this book is what I imagine it feels like to sit around the dinner table, have good food, talk with friends, and hear some of the best of their stories. Was it hard to whittle down which ones to put into the book?
Yeah, because there's so many. And it's also, I decided to first write it about a year there, a year in Tuscany, going through these 4 seasons. And then you start writing a story, and then you're like, that spirals you into something that happened when you were 12.
Yeah.
And you think, oh my God, did that really happen? And then, of course, there's recipes in it because food often ignites.
Yes.
So it's a bit like a girls' night out.
Yeah.
It's all over the map, and it's just these funny stories that hopefully, in today's times, we just want to have a good laugh, and it's very easy.
But Debbie, you're also a gifted storyteller. It's how you tell them. It's how you share them that make them so much fun. Listen, we alluded to this. Owning an Italian villa sounds like the kind of adventure that you sit around and dream of. Well, okay, but you dream about it with your girlfriends. We all want to live in Tuscany and have the sun on our face. But you actually followed through. So you and your husband, you buy this farmhouse on 100 acres. You spend years restoring it. No sponge paint is no sponge painting.
And I don't speak Italian.
And you don't speak Italian. I feel like this is a Netflix movie. Talk to me about your impressions of what happened, because you just said to me, don't do it.
Well, I always said we were looking for a little house, and just like all realtors, you're saying, I'm looking for a 1-bedroom apartment, and they show you a 50-bedroom monastery. It's typical. So
look at this, Debbie, come on.
The views are absolutely off the charts. And then I loved it so much when we bought it. I mean, it literally had pigs running around, it had trees going through the villa, and so I decided there was something really magical there.
Yeah.
And the villagers have always called this house the happy house. I don't know why. So we decided to invite other people. And so I started retreats in 2015. And women have been coming ever since. And then they, we tell a lot of stories. I tell a story, they tell a story, and people leave ready to reboot their lives, And it's just the camaraderie of people. And maybe a lot of the alcohol, a lot of wine. But the camaraderie, like you say, of sitting around under these beautiful blue Tuscan skies with these amazing views and the olive groves. We've got a huge 4,000 olive trees, which is why I'm here, so I don't have to pick, because it's harvest
time. Oh, this is the harvest season.
Oh, yeah.
You really have made it the happy house again. You've brought it back.
It really is a happy house.
Can I ask you about truffles? And how you knew nothing about them until just before you moved to Italy. And you now offer truffle hunting?
Yes, we do truffle hunting. We have, in France, they use a pig to find the truffles.
Yeah.
And in Italy, they use little dogs. There you go, these tiny little dogs. And this is the season to go. So when they're born, they feed them and they put truffle on the mummy's teats, and so they're brought up with this smell of truffle. And then they have to push them aside as they're finding the truffle.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, there he is. Now with pigs in France, it's much more difficult because the pig's really big. So the pig wants the truffle as well.
Oh.
So you have to they're shoving the pig. Yeah, get that, because some of these truffles, if they're the size of an orange, they're worth about 3,000 euros.
3,000 euros?
$4,000. Yeah. So you see them all on the phone calling New York, bidding on these truffles. Most of the ones we find are the size of a marble or a golf ball. But and then they shave them on eggs and things like that. So there's really funny stories about the truffle hunt in there.
They're talking about really funny stories. They're compounded in this book. Debbie Travis, thank you so much for being here today, sharing a little bit of your amazing life and a lot of laughs this morning. A reminder, the book is called Laugh More, Stories from an Unexpected Life. We will be right back. If you liked that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.